Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, Madridista Fitz, home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. I have a special guest here tonight. If you're new to the channel, it is my son, Tristan. Tristan, what do we say to Barcelona fans?
Cry, little babies.
Cry, little babies, cry. That is for sure. Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Madridista Fitz, catching you up on all the transfer drama unfolding at Real Madrid. We'll even give an update to you Barcelona bums as well. What's going on with who the fuck is your striker going to be? That's the big news that I'm going to go over with Barcelona. And one last Julian Alvarez attempt. So if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And even though we by far are the poorest YouTube Real Madrid channel, we by far have the best PowerPoints, maybe the best chin besides Vinicius Jr. But we have the best PowerPoints, haircuts, and chins. So starting off, you can see the slide here at the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to go over transfer drama. We're going to go over the Diomande transfer. What the fuck is going on with this transfer? We'll be going over Vinicius Jr.'s new demands. We'll be going over Rodri, which seems to be being put on the back burner. And then lastly, we'll be going over the Barcelona bums themselves. I do like to try to be objective, and I do give at the end of my videos updates on Barcelona as well. So if you are new to the channel and you're a Barcelona fan, join me for the ride. I will be talking about you bums as well. So here we go. We're going to start off with holy shit. This Jan Diomande situation.
Funny, Dad.
This whole transfer window, and I'll go over this at the very end, is ending up, it could end up being a complete nightmare scenario if this Jan Diomande deal falls through, if Rodri's deal falls through, and or if Vinicius Jr. falls through. We will be going from a dream scenario to an absolute fucking nightmare. It's diabolical. And the real thing which is going on, which I think is readily apparent this summer, is one, transfer fees are just out of control. It's an absolute madness. Even for this Jan Diomande guy, the fees for him is going up to 130 million. You had earlier the Barcelona bums themselves signing Anthony Gordon for 80 million. Now, if you do watch my channel, I rate Anthony Gordon very high. A lot of Madrid fans and Madrid YouTubers do not. I think he's perfect in that Hansi Flick system. But for a guy that is on the other side of 25, I want to say he's 26, 27, and he has been pretty, I would say, mid most of his career. He had one very good season last year. 80 million euros is a madness for Anthony Gordon, but that's just the market that we're in. What's up, buddy? I have my son with me tonight, so I may get interrupted a few times. But what do we say to Barcelona fans, buddy?
Cry, little babies.
Cry, little babies, cry. But starting off, I might cry like a little baby if this Jan Diomande deal falls through, because it seems like it's going to be more and more vital that we get this cat, especially if Vinicius Jr. leaves. You are looking at possibly our new left winger if Vinicius Jr. leaves, and this whole situation with Jan Diomande, he's a very young cat. He's 19. He's from the Ivory Coast. I don't want to speculate. I don't know their wealth or their demographics over there too well, so it'd be complete speculation. But I imagine he has never dealt with this much money in his entire life, and whoever is in his circle, I feel like they might be wolves trying to prey on his success. Because if you look at his transfer, has so many different contracts with so many different agents. I've been reading articles. I believe it's like up to 4 agents. 2 are currently in a dispute with the Rock Nation, who seems to be a Jay-Z company that seems to be representing every Real Madrid player from Jan Diomande to Vinicius Jr. And then there's another guy, which I have in this article, which I'll talk about. He has a claim to Jan Diomande as well. I believe his name was Max. Yeah, Max Gradle. I guess he had a contract with Jan Diomande. Who the hell doesn't have a contract with Jan Diomande? I would like to put my name in. I could probably teach this young man a thing or two and help him out, because this guy is getting either there's a lot of wolves in his circle that are trying to prey on his success and get money out of him, but he is just tied in with too many dudes. And another real big issue with this whole transfer window is just all the different media outlets posting something every hour, every 15 minutes. Someone's trying to write a new article to capture headlines. And really, I'm the type of dude, I'm not in these negotiations. I would never claim to be that. I'm just giving you my opinions on this stuff. But I'm the type of dude that likes to update every 15 minutes and try to find something juicy to read about my favorite team, Real Madrid. And I try to find something juicy about Barcelona and make these videos. But I found this article kind of recapping this whole Jan Diomande situation. There's a very reputable cat in Spain called Fabrizio Romano. He basically gave the here we go about 10 days ago, saying that this was a done deal between Real Madrid, Leipzig, and Jan Diamande's camp. His agents, everything was good to go. He did say that at the time he didn't put a transfer figure. He said it was going to be north of 100 million. So maybe the first red flag on that one, not having a specific transfer deal. And even though this guy, this Fabrizio Romano cat, is deemed as a tier 1 source, and I'd never discredit his work. He seems like a good dude that puts out mostly 99%, 95% of his stuff is seems to be true. But at the end of the day, I don't think this guy is in those rooms doing the negotiations or sitting at the table during the negotiations between Jan Diomande, Real Madrid, and Leipzig. He's probably just all hearing chatter, speculation. He's probably a master of whispers. And at the end of the day, Jan Diamande's own camp, not his own camp, his own club, RB Leipzig CEO or one of their sporting directors came out, and he said it's clear that some so-called transfer experts, he was referring to Fabrizio Romano, reported a few days ago that the deal was done, or gave it the here we go, which simply was not the case. The deal was not done. Basically, RB Leipzig came out and directly said that this deal isn't anywhere close to being done. It still has a lot of work to be done. They're not currently at that step. A lot of signs are pointing to the fact that Real Madrid is probably going to get this guy, but that's a major thing when you have it's the player's own team coming out and saying this is not a done deal yet. We are still negotiating, and the big thing with them is the price, and these prices are madness. Now, this guy's transfer market value is somewhere around 90 million, at least what I'm seeing on transfer.com. I don't even know how reputable that is, but his market value is 90 million, and Leipzig has rejected offers of 100 million from Real Madrid. Real Madrid came back in for 113 million. I think they just put an offer on the table for 120 million euros, something like that, and they are valuing this cat at 130 million euros, which is an absolute madness. This guy has a lot of talent. I'm not going to claim I'm a Leipzig fan or watched all his games. That would just be a lie and cap from me. But I watched him at the World Cup. He's a very strong and fast player that has great feet, both a good right and left foot, and can finish with both feet. It may not be the most consistent thing ever. Yeah, he's not banging in goals at an alarming rate, but I see in his videos he is able to finish with his right and left foot, which is something that is very difficult for young players to do. So he has a lot of potential, but 130 million euros is a madness. And apparently these clubs, haven't even settled on the fee, according to what I've been reading. So that's one problem. And then perhaps even a bigger problem, which is being reported on this, which is just an absolute madness. And I'll read this part of it. A big issue is with this cat's representation. Who is representing this guy? Who's the agent of this young man? And you can see on the slide here at the bottom, agent confusion. It says several reputable outlets have claimed the deal has been further complicated by a agent dispute. Maxdell Management, the cat I was talking about earlier, Maxdell, a modest agency run by former Ivory Coast international Max Gradel, oversaw Diamande's move to Leipzig last summer, and they confirmed new teams. They confirmed new teams with the players in early 2026. Around 1 month later, Rock Nation Sports, part of Jay-Z's business empire. By the way, on a side note, Jay-Z, you're really fucking us right now with these negotiations. Please push these transfers through, my dude. I've always supported your music. Anyways, announced Diomande had joined their family, and they shared pictures of their management with the player during the World Cup. The first thing that's alarming with me is, how does this Jan Diomande cat not know that he's already has a contract with this Maxdell Sporting or Max Gradel Sporting Agency, but yet you're trying to get in bed, with Jay-Z? Who is it Jan Diomande himself? Is he not understand how contracts work, or is it his entourage that doesn't understand how contracts work? If you sign a contract, you would, I imagine, and I don't know a lot about this, you'd be breaking it if you then get in bed with another company in the same summer that you just transferred. So it's a madness there. And then it further reads, it's claimed that Maxdell management have filed a complaint with FIFA due to an alleged breach of contract after Madrid conducted negotiations with Rock Nation Sports. Madrid insisted they never knew about the potential conflict and they hoped for a swift resolution between all parties, but Maxdell management complaints to FIFA could delay the deal being finalized. It's a madness, and I'm sure Real Madrid has some of the best legal teams on planet Earth. How did they not know this? How did they not unearth this before the deal even began? That this guy was represented by multiple agencies. Maybe they would never even have entertained it, but they're so far in now with this cat and with all these Vinicius Jr. rumors swirling. I feel like this is a deal that has to go through. At first, I thought this is a dude we just need to share minutes with Endrick on the right wing, maybe bang in a few goals. But if Endrick leaves, you are looking at this cat is probably our starting left winger. If Rodrigo, who knows where his knee is at, the Bollywood prince himself, that cat looks so like he looks like he's from India. I have to say that. Even though he's Brazilian, he has a Bollywood presence about him, a Bollywood features to him. I'll post a picture of him if you've never seen him before, but he is the Bollywood prince himself, Rodrigo. He's a great player too, and I'm sure he would love to play left wing, but I mean, what's up with his knee? I haven't heard much reports on his recovery, so this Yan Diomande cat is looking like he's going to have to be a vital part of this team, especially if Vinny goes, and we need to get this deal across the line. I don't care how it gets done. I don't care if you have to negotiate with all the camps. If you have to throw whatever amount of money at Leipzig, please, Florentino Perez, get this deal done, because I just don't know what's left with the Bollywood Prince's knees at the end of the day. He certainly is a great player, Rodrigo. That is facts, but I worry about the knee injury with him. He just hasn't proven that he can ever get back to his top form yet. You know, he's played all last year with a partial tear, and he was certainly very mid last year. So who knows? You never know how high or if a player can get back to their former level after a significant knee injury. That's just facts. It stinks. You know, we've came a long way in modern science and modern medicine, but there's no guarantee that he'll ever be at the level that he was. And even at the level he was, is he good enough to carry a team like Real Madrid to Champions League success all by himself? I don't know. I think Rodrigo was a very good piece, but I would never say he carried Real Madrid. He scored some very important goals. If his whole career was based off of playing Man City, he is a god. He always destroyed Man City, but he would go long periods of time without ever scoring. It's just who he is. He would have spells of greatness and then long periods of mediocrity. So this Yan Diomande deal, it really needs to get through. And the latest update, and I don't even know if this stuff is true. A lot of this stuff, and this Fabrizio Romano guy is doubling down, and he just posted something 2 hours ago saying that Yan Diomande is coming to Real Madrid. Kind of the new information that we're getting, the newest update on Yan Diomande is it's confirmed Yan Diomande deal has been done for days now, apparently. RB Leipzig were the ones who delayed the deal, and it was not because of any agent drama. I don't know if that's true. Real Madrid expect Yan Diomande to arrive this week. We expected him to arrive last week. It's a madness this is turning into, and honestly, the business end of the summer and the transfer window is coming up. We really only have one more month to get all these deals across the line, and there's still a lot of work to be done, not only with Yan Diomande, Vinny's contract, and Rodri, who's getting put on the absolute back burner, I feel, right now, and he may be the most important piece for our team. So I sure as hell hope this Fabrizio Romano guy is correct, because he's going to look like a real idiot if this deal falls through, because he continually is saying that this deal is going to get across the line, and I really hope it does. He was just saying some stuff tonight to recap the whole thing, that RB Leipzig is just trying to sign his replacement right now, and as soon as they sign his replacement, they'll announce that this has officially gone through with Real Madrid. Who the hell knows at this point, but we really need this cat, and this all leads me to the next big cloud over Real Madrid right now. What in the hell is going on with this Vinicius Jr. saga? And can we just get a deal done? My God, I would love to get this guy back at Real Madrid. Vinny, if you're listening to this, I know you're not, but if you're listening to this, we value you. We appreciate you. We love you. We want you to be a Madrista for life. It feels like he's an academy kid. He came to Real Madrid when he was 16 or 17 years old. We've seen him ascend to the highest heights of football. We've seen him do something that most people at Barcelona have not seen, at least if you're a kid, in their lifetimes, which is win Champions Leagues, multiple Champions Leagues. We've seen Vinicius Jr. win 2 Champions Leagues at Real Madrid. Almost carried those teams. He got a lot of help from Benzema, but he was the best player on a lot of those teams. He's won us 2 Champions Leagues. That's almost half as many as Barcelona has won in their sorry fucking history. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, don't be stingy with this. Let's pay this man. Now, there is some problems with his request that would certainly break our business model. So I have his demands. It might be pretty small on this slide, but essentially the big thing with Vinicius Jr. is his camp, and I don't even know how true this is. I've been saying this a lot, and this is kind of a theme in this video, is we aren't in these negotiations. I don't know how much of this information I'm getting off the internet is true. I don't want to post false information. I'm mostly here just to give you my opinion about it and make jokes about Barcelona. That's pretty much the point of this whole channel. But apparently, Vinicius Jr.'s camp wants a total package worth around 30 million per year, a substantial renewal bonus, and imaging rights matching top earners. So the big problem is the salary package. He would be getting like double his salary. I think he was making around 17 million. I've seen 18 million per year. That was his salary before these negotiations. He's basically asking nearly double of that, to 30 million. So could Real Madrid swing this? This would be the part of his demands I think they would be most likely to give into, because this would not break their business model. It would just be shelling out a lot of money. So that would be 30 million annually, including fixed salaries, performance additions, bonuses, to reflect his status amongst the world's best. And he is one of the world's best. On his best day, he may even be the best player in the world. He certainly got robbed in 2024. We won't get into that, but the Ballon d'Or certainly belonged to him, or should have belonged to him. But then these next 2 concerns are really where I don't think Real Madrid is going to budge with Vinicius Jr. The renewal bonus, he's pushing for a significant sign-on or extension bonus similar to the structure given to Kylian Mbappe. But the thing is, with Vinicius Jr. is, yes, Kylian Mbappe got a sign-on bonus because he was a free agent. Real Madrid does that. They give sign-on bonuses to free agents, to people that currently on it, that people that were not on their club. Now, if you are a member of the club and you ask for a renewal or extension, never in their history have they given bonuses for this. It would simply be breaking their business model to do that. So I do not think Real Madrid will budge in that regard either. And I think Real Madrid should stay firm with their business model in that regard. They've always put their foot down about that. You can't change it for just one player, because then down the line, whenever Bellingham comes through, whenever Valverde comes through and his contract and their contracts are up, you know what they're going to be doing? They're going to be asking for these bonuses. You're creating a dangerous precedent if you let this happen with Vinicius Jr. Even though I appreciate him and I really value him as a player, you can't break your business model for one player. And then the other significant issue is the image right things. He's requesting an enhanced percentage of image rights. And usually Real Madrid does a 50-50 split with image rights. Now, where Real Madrid really screwed up, in my opinion, is they gave Kylian Mbappe 80% image rights, which is just a madness. And now that sets the precedent of any player in the future can be like, hey, Kylian Mbappe on this team has 80% image rights. We want at least 60. We want at least 70. Now, in my opinion, Real Madrid, you already screwed up on this part. You've set a bad precedent, and now he's using it against you. Does Vinicius Jr. deserve increased image rights? Probably. I mean, he just got a new chin. He's looking great. Maybe he's trying to really flaunt that image. And sorry, one of my friends is texting me, but maybe he's trying to flaunt that image, trying to do a little bit of looks max and get new deals. That would bring money into the club. Now, they would get a portion of it, even though they're giving Vinicius Jr. Increased rights. They give him say a 60-40 split. Real Madrid would still be getting a significant amount of money, and I think this is where they should be more flexible. Just give him the damn image rights. You've already done it with Kylian Mbappe. You've already set that precedent, and players are going to keep using that till the end of time. I'm sorry you guys did that. I'm sorry that you guys did that, but just give him the image rights. I can see where they're putting their foot down with a renewal bonus, but pretty much from the club standpoint and from everything that I'm reading, and I have this down here on this slide, is Real Madrid's latest offer is they did want to raise his salary to 22 million per year. That's a pretty good offer. The club executives have drawn up pretty much a hard line. They don't want to give him any more than that. They don't want to meet that 30 million wage demand. And then there is still a deadlock when it comes to the renewal bonus and image rights. I've pretty much just stated it here and wrapping it all together. I don't think they're going to budge on those on a renewal bonus. I really don't think that's going to happen. Maybe on the image rights, but that's certainly a pickle with this deal. And I just posted this. This just popped in my feed, or I just was Google searching Vinicius Jr. and the latest thing with him, as of 16 hours ago, is he's willing to lower his demands in renewal talks with Real Madrid, which is good news. But in what regard is he lowering his demands? It says in this little excerpt, his previous 30 million package request, including salary bonuses and renewal bonuses, remains a sticking point, with the renewal bonus being the main issue. Arsenal are monitoring the situation, but no, everything depends on Madrid's talks with Vinicius Jr. So I don't know. If Vinny isn't willing to come down on the renewal bonus and or the image rights, I just don't know if this deal will make it across the line. If it's all about the money for this guy, then you might have to walk, my dude. As much as that hurts me, I just don't think Real Madrid is going to change their whole business model to meet his needs. And I think it would be bad for the club if they did that. Would it be bad for our football standpoint, him leaving? Probably, but at the end of the day, we've had Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe on this team for 2 years in a row, and we haven't made it work. So maybe at the end of the day, it could be beneficial for him to leave. I certainly don't want it to happen. If he does leave, I would really like, and I'll talk about this in a different video, I really like Kylian Mbappe to move to the left wing, because holy shit, I just don't see him as a traditional striker. I don't know if that will work at the end of the day to deliver us a Champions League. Who knows, but I really want Vinicius Jr. back. I want that to be known, and I really hope my dude signs a contract. But, man, this one is just looking more and more shady, and Arsenal is waiting in the wings. And there was even reports, once again, some fake account or some non-image account or some dude that won't even go on camera like me posted something that Arsenal had agreed to personal terms with Vinicius Jr. and Vinicius Jr.'s camp, the Jay-Z owned company, was negotiating with Arsenal. That was all bullshit. Even I'll post a picture of this. Even this company that Vinicius Jr. is represented by, Rock Nation, came out and said, you need to stop spreading false lines about Vinicius Jr. and our negotiations. They wrote in a statement, they wrote fake news, and pretty much what they ended up saying was the following. And I'll post this in a quick picture. I'm loading it right now for y'all. But pretty much what this Rock Nation said in regards to this whole incident was... Where did this picture go? Sorry, y'all. I had this up, and now it just disappeared on me. Okay, so Rock Nation, they went on to say, and this was in response to all this crap that these kind of fake YouTubers that are pretending they have information, pretty much would be like me saying Real Madrid has came to negotiations with Vinicius Jr. and all the terms are set and everything is good to go. It would just be all cap. I would be making it up, and I'm pretty sure there was an Arsenal account that posted saying personal terms were agreed upon, and in the same day, Rock Nation came out and wrote, fake news, Rock Nation Sports International and our entire team cannot stand idle when unprofessional and uninformed media publish fake and damaging information for attention-seeking purposes. That's facts. That's what we're all shoveling through the bullshit right now to try to figure out what's the truth in all of these transfers. And then they went on to write, this is especially unacceptable when it personally targets our clients, which is Vinicius Jr. and Diomande, without any foundation. It is disruptive, harmful, and libelous I probably butchered that pronunciation. Media outlets and journalists need to hold themselves accountable. That's facts. It's very difficult, and I wouldn't. This is definitely not my full-time job. I just do this for fun. But if this was my full-time job, it would be very difficult sifting through all the bullshit and trying to find the truth in reporting. I don't even know if that matters today. People will just publish whatever the hell they want at the end of the day, but it's very hard to sift through the nonsense and find the truth in what's going on with all these deals. Who knows where this deal's at? They've been trying to get this over the line for nearly 2 years with Vinicius Jr. I don't know if something is going to change now, but my man Vinicius, I on a football level, why would you want to go and play for Arsenal? I don't see the logic behind it. They have a very good team right now, but in their entire history, they've won 0 Champions Leagues. I just don't see them getting across the line. Maybe if they get Vinicius Jr., they are classic bottlers of the Champions League. It's just facts are facts. They had their chance last year. I don't know if it will happen again. It's very difficult to win a Champions League. And my man, you want to go play for that team, you have a chance to be a real Real Madrid legend. If you stay at Real Madrid and we do a madness in the next 5 years, if we get all these players in and you win one more Champions League or 2 more Champions Leagues or 3 more Champions League, you'll go down as one of the greatest Real Madrid players of all time. You might even go down as the greatest Brazilian Real Madrid player of all time. He has the opportunity to be linked with the Marcelos of the world. I'm thinking off the top of my head, the Roberto Carloses of the world. He could be the greatest Brazilian, or maybe even, I won't say the greatest player to ever play for Real Madrid, because I certainly would give that to Cristiano Ronaldo. It would take a lot of doing for that to happen. But my dude, everything is pointing in your direction. You're playing the pinnacle, the almighty. You see this above my head? This is the highest there is when it comes to the football. Real Madrid. Going to Arsenal would be a step down, my dude. And you'd be living in London. London kind of sucks hard, dude. I've been over there on vacation. It is a madness sometimes, and I speak English, and I prefer Madrid over London. I think, stay in Madrid. Stay where we do love you, my dude. Stay, we will appreciate you and love you. Just stay, my dude. Make our team better. Win a Champions League. Let's put it to Barcelona next year. And speaking of Barcelona, those bums, we're going to round this video off with a little Barcelona talk. These fucking rats, these Barcelona rat bastards, I will call them that. They are waiting in the weeds right now. And the problem with these transfer negotiations that are going on and seem like they're never ending and should be wrapping up with both Vinicius Jr. and especially Yan Diomande is it's putting the Rodri situation on the back burner. And Barcelona are waiting in the weeds. What's up, buddy? Okay, I'm going to have to pause this for a second to help. What do we say to Barcelona fans? All right, I got to help my son out real quick. Are back. Sorry, my son was having an emergency with an itchy shirt. We've all been there before. Just like I have an itch that needs to be scratched with getting this Rodri deal over the line. My dudes, Barcelona is waiting in the weeds. There's when there's smoke, there's fire. And apparently from all reports that are coming out from all these Barcelona apparently reputable sources, breaking news, FC Barcelona are seriously monitoring Rodri's situation with Man City, now believing Barca could enter the race for the Spaniard, delaying talks with Real Madrid. Hansi Flick and the sporting department see Rodri as the perfect fit for Barcelona's style. I think my argument is Rodri would be the perfect fit pretty much anywhere as a defensive midfielder. He's the cream of the crop when it comes to that position. There's no arguments with that. When he's healthy and he's on form, now that's a big question. How long are you going to get that with Rodri at 30 years old? He certainly seemed on form during the World Cup, and he had some Spanish. He had some Barcelona midfielders around him that he certainly helped them achieve their best form, including Dani Olmo. So plugging him into a Barcelona team would be a scary thought. I think that'd be a very good signing for Barcelona. This article goes on to read, Rodri wants to return to Spain, and while Real Madrid was the expected destination, Barca's interest has changed the situation. Has it really? I don't know about that. Barcelona believe they can afford the deal with around 50 million set aside. Barca has 50 million set aside, sure. Won't enter a bidding war with Real Madrid. That's a war they certainly would not win. That's facts. Barcelona's finances are shit. Watch any of my videos previous to this. I go over this a lot. Barcelona is swimming in debt. They have about $1.5 billion of long-term debt and operational debt, which is mostly tied into trying to pay back transfer fees from negotiations a long time ago, and players that have passed and left their teams, they're still paying back on those, and that would be more debt they're pouring into that. So they definitely don't want to get into a bidding war with Real Madrid. The move will only happen if Rodri makes it clear he wants to become a Barca player. Ooh, that almost made me puke. But at the end of the day, this, once again, referring to a Tier 1 source, Fabrizio Romano, said Real Madrid is officially in talks with Man City. I don't know how true that is. They were apparently officially in talks last week and nothing became finalized. But they are working on it, and Rodri's keen on the move. And then it goes on to say, last week Man City decided to delay stuff and not close the deal with Real Madrid because they feel that other clubs will join the race, and that other club may be Barcelona. Who knows? Man City believes Barcelona will enter the race. It's going to be on Rodri to decide whether Barcelona have a chance. If he informs the club, or has a chance for Barcelona, but he has informed the club that he only wants to go to Real Madrid. Long story short, I don't think this guy is interested in going to Barcelona. Every article that I'm reading about this cat, and I believe he grew up in Madrid. He didn't go to our academy, unfortunately, but he is a Madrid dude. He loves Madrid. The dude has been twerking for Madrid for a while. I think it would take something extraordinary for Barcelona to swoop in and get this guy. I mean, at the end of the day, it probably even has something to do with Spanish pride for Rodri. He's the captain of Spain. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Barcelona, Barcelona resides in Catalonia. I guarantee you that if you were to walk the streets of Catalonia after Spain won the World Cup, you wouldn't see a Spanish flag waving around. They don't acknowledge that. They want to be their own country, their own society. It's all Catalonia. I don't think the captain of Spain wants to go play in Catalonian filth. I think that's the facts of the matter. He's a Madrid guy. He grew up there. He probably has Spanish heritage, Spanish loyalty. He wants to play for the capital team, Real Madrid. So at the end of the day, it's just a tale as old as time. I hate to say this, and I am being objective here, is Barcelona, they usually get our sloppy seconds. I mean, we eat whatever we want, and then what we don't want, our scraps that are left over, they can go get. That's why they have to build from the academy. We simply have to whisper in a player's ear, and we usually get them. That's just the facts of the matter. Look at old boy Cucurella, a Barcelona academy guy himself. There was rumors that he may go to Atletico Madrid. He may go back home to Barcelona. We whispered in his ear exactly one time, and he wanted to come to Real Madrid. Same thing with Bernardo Silva. He was heavily linked to Barcelona. And then we whispered in his ear one time, and there was even a quote the other day. It's when Real Madrid comes calling, it's the pinnacle of football. Even though we are dog shit right now on the field, you don't turn down Real Madrid. And a Madrid guy, a guy that grew up in Madrid, is not going to turn down Real Madrid. A chance to play for Real Madrid, to go to Barcelona, to go to Catalonian filth? I don't think so. He would probably need to take a shower to wipe that filth off of him. So I don't see that one going. I think it would take something extraordinary going through for Rodri to go to Barcelona. And two, I think it's going to cost some money for either of these clubs to sign Rodri. I know the figure has been listed around $50 million is what clubs want to pay for this cat. I think Man City is going to try to fleece these clubs out of every single dollar, which would probably be around like 70 or 80 million euros from what I've read. Even though he only has a year left on his contract, Man City doesn't have to let him go at the end of the day. He is under contract, which leads me to the final player I want to talk about. A player that is under contract, which I don't think Barcelona understands that, is Julian Alvarez. They've been chasing this cat the entire summer. Do you need help, buddy?
Yeah.
What do you need help with? Hold on one sec. My son needs help. What are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to watch on white this thing.
Okay.
White.
All right, he figured it out. So one thing that I think Barcelona has failed to realize is Julian Alvarez is under contract, and Atletico Madrid is fighting with their lives to try to keep this guy at their club. It is absolute madness that this saga is still going on, and Barcelona have not given up. Good for them for trying. Holy shit. But my question is, and really on this slide is, who the hell is Barcelona's forward for next season? I have no idea who it's going to be at this point, because Fernan Torres has been making some massive statements about his future amid Barcelona links. That's the title of this article. He's been doing a zesty summer tour, by the way. The man, if you haven't seen some of these images, he has been, which is I'm all cool with. I think he would be great for Barcelona as a gay global icon. The dude has been having the zestiest summer, going on vacations, smooching on his Spanish teammate Marco Llorente, and just doing some of the zestiest photos you'll ever see online. And I think that zestiness is coming out with his stance with Barcelona. That cat only has one more year left on his contract, and he is not happy with Barcelona. He said he kind of wants out. The quote I will read for you, quote unquote, of what he said specifically to Barcelona was, I have the article right here, pulling it up for y'all. Home of Real Madrid's 11th best YouTube channel. But it said Barcelona forward Fernan Torres broke his silence regarding his future, stating that although he still has a contract with the Catalonians, he said, you never know what can happen. And then they asked him what his dream team was and of moving to, and he basically said, I have a contract at Barcelona, but you never know in football. I'm just waiting to make the right decision, but I do not know yet. When asked if there is a dream club he'd like to play for, Torres surprisingly said yes. And then when asked which club, he simply said, just be happy, and then started giggling like a little girl. But that's where they're at with their striker, their only striker on their team right now. You know, Lewandowski went and became a Saudi prince. They have, of course, they always have guys in the academy that can play striker, but are they ready to be the full-time number 9 at Barcelona? I don't know. But Fernan Torres' stock is at an all-time high, and he probably, when he's saying he's not happy, that's probably code for I want a new contract. He only has 1 year left at Barcelona. This cat could walk for free next season, just like Vinicius Jr. And Fernan Torres' stock is at an all-time high. If you look at this cat, look at what he did at the World Cup. On paper, he did more in the World Cup than the Barcelona princess himself, Lamine Yamal. That's just facts. He banged in the game-winning goal at the World Cup final. He had an assist at the World Cup, in the World Cup tournament. That's one thing that Lamine Yamal, the greatest player on planet Earth, the future Ballon d'Or winner, did not do at the World Cup is provide one assist, and he tied Lamine Yamal's goal scoring record at the World Cup with exactly 1 goal. But he scored the biggest goal. He forever will be known as the guy that scored the game-winning goal at the World Cup, and he wants his fucking cash. So you better make him happy, or is he going to force a move? Are you going to let him walk for free next year? Are you going to hold him hostage? Who the hell knows? But that leads to this whole Julian Alvarez thing. They've been chasing this cat the entire summer, and we've been all hearing about Deco cooking, absolutely cooking. Well, the news today is sporting director Deco travels to Madrid for crunch talks with Julian Alvarez. Now, what I heard is he's traveling to Madrid to talk to Julian Alvarez's camp. Isn't that the problem the entire summer, that they've been talking to Julian Alvarez's camp, not Atletico Madrid? I think that's where Barcelona made their mistake, is they simply have not talked to Atletico Madrid, who owns the fucking player. And just for your essay, Atletico Madrid has filed a complaint with FIFA and the Royal Federation of Spanish Courts or whatever, complaining about Barcelona's behavior. And now you're sending your sporting director to talk to his camp. Are you going to go talk to Atletico Madrid? Is anyone going to talk to Atletico Madrid? Here's the solution for you Barcelona bums. And there's only one thing that can change Atletico Madrid's mind. Only one thing. And it's the thing that can change anyone's mind in the entire world. There's only 2 things that really can change someone's perspective in the entire world. That's a good amount of a beautiful woman. If you score a beautiful woman, they can change your mind pretty much about anything. But or in Fernan Torres' case, if you score a beautiful man, they can change your mind about anything. But the second thing that could only change Atletico Madrid's mind, if Barcelona doesn't have some beautiful women lined up for all their presidents and their CEO, is they better start throwing the almighty dollars at them, because that's the only way that's going to change this team's mind. Atletico Madrid would look like absolute stooges after they filed all these complaints in courts just to give in to Barcelona. So in order for Barcelona to change their minds, they're gonna have to throw a huge amount of money at them. I want to say 200 million at least. I mean, for all these players that are going for 130, Anthony Gordon 80 million, Julian Alvarez is better than all these cats. How much do you think he's worth? I mean, it's a madness. If you want to change their mind, if you want to go get your guy, throw 200 million euros at him, or just find the hottest broads on planet Earth and maybe try to scumbag your way into to getting one over on all the Atletico Madrid presidents with some of the most beautiful women on planet Earth. That's all I can think of as a strategy for Barcelona, but we'll see what happens. Will they have a striker next year? Who the hell knows with them? They are letting this summer just roll by, and I don't think they're making their team better. I do feel for the Barcelona princess himself, Lamine Yamal, and his sidekick Pedri for sure. The Barcelona princess's sidekick Pedri, the man that does absolutely nothing at World Cups. Double zeros for him the whole tournament, goals and assists, but they are going to have to play a lot of minutes unless they reinforce this team and get a striker, because I just don't see it right now for Barcelona. I hope they make some moves by the end of the summer. We shall see, and I hope they get some players to help these young cats at Barcelona. We all saw last year what happened. All their players, even though they won everything domestically, they are the Queens of Spain. They never win a Champions League. Even though they won everything domestically, they tired their players out. Lamine Yamal got a hamstring injury. It more than likely affected him in the World Cup. Who knows? Everyone said he was healthy, but you're coming off a hamstring injury, and Pedri just looked tired as shit. He was hurt all the time. So, and just for news, Frankie de Jong's hurt for 6 months. Where's your midfielder that you're signing to help you guys out? It's a madness with them right now. I don't know. They're so stuck on this Julian Alvarez business. And the only people that they haven't really, I feel like, discussed this transfer with is Atletico Madrid themselves, and they're being punished for it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I hope Barcelona loses everything next year, because I do promise y'all one thing. I will be laying it on fucking thick, because all I've been hearing is barking and chattering from Barcelona fans for years now. The heat is coming, my boys. Madridista Fitz out. Barcelona fans, you're about to get it next year. Absolutely get wrecked. Peace out. Madridista Fitz out. Hala Madrid.